You're standing in your kitchen, coffee in hand, when suddenly your feet leave the floor. Not because you jumped, not because of an earthquake, because Earth just stopped spinning. And before you even understand what's happening, you're flying through the air at over 1,000 miles per hour. That's right, 1,000 miles per hour. Faster than a commercial jet, faster than a bullet train, faster than anything you've ever felt in your life. And it happens in seconds. But why? Why would your own kitchen suddenly turn into a deadly slingshot? To understand that, you need to know a secret most people never think about. Right now, as you're watching this video, you are moving. Not walking, not driving, spinning. Earth rotates once every 24 hours, and depending on where you live, that spin is moving you at insane speeds. Near the equator, you're zooming through space at about 1,000 miles per hour. You don't feel it because everything around you, the ground, the air, your coffee cup, is moving at the exact same speed. It's like being in a car going 60 miles an hour. You don't feel like you're flying, you feel completely still. But what happens if that car suddenly slams the brakes? That's exactly what would happen to Earth. So let's actually do this. Let's imagine, second by second, what would really happen if our planet suddenly stopped rotating. Not slowed down, not gradually, instantly, like flipping a switch. Here's where things get terrifying. The moment Earth stops, everything that isn't bolted to the ground keeps moving at the old speed. That includes oceans. That includes the atmosphere. That includes you. Imagine a giant wave, but instead of water rising a few feet, entire oceans surge across continents at supersonic speed. Coastal cities wouldn't just flood, they'd be erased. And it's not just water. The atmosphere itself, the air you're breathing right now, would also keep moving. Which means hurricane-force winds, thousands of times stronger than any storm in history, would rip across the planet in an instant. Yeah, windy day doesn't quite cover it. Buildings wouldn't just lose their roofs, they'd be peeled off the ground like wrapping paper. But here's the scary part. This isn't even the worst of it. Because Earth's rotation isn't just about wind and water. It's the reason we have day and night. Right now, you experience sunrise and sunset because Earth spins. But if it suddenly stopped, one half of the planet would face the sun forever. The other half would be trapped in endless darkness. Picture this. One side of Earth, scorched by endless daylight, with no nightfall to cool it down. Temperatures could climb high enough to make deserts look comfortable. Meanwhile, the other side, permanent night. No sunlight, no warmth. Temperatures plunging to levels that make Antarctica look like a beach vacation. Half the world burning, half the world freezing. But wait, it gets even stranger. Because Earth's spin doesn't just create day and night, it actually helps shape our planet itself. Earth isn't a perfect sphere. It's slightly squished, bulging at the equator because of the speed of rotation. Scientists call this an oblate spheroid, but think of it like spinning pizza dough. The faster you spin it, the more it stretches outward at the edges. Earth has basically been spinning pizza dough for 4.5 billion years. But if that spin suddenly disappeared, that bulge wouldn't stay either. Gravity would slowly pull the planet back into a more rounded shape, which means the ground beneath entire countries could shift. And when massive land masses shift, earthquakes wouldn't be isolated disasters anymore. They'd become a constant planet-wide nightmare. Imagine the ground shaking, not for seconds, but for years. But here's something almost nobody talks about, something even scarier than earthquakes. Earth's rotation is connected to something invisible, something protecting you right now without you even realizing it. Deep inside our planet, molten iron is constantly moving, and that movement, combined with Earth's spin, creates something called the magnetic field. This invisible shield wraps around our entire planet, protecting us from deadly solar radiation. Without rotation, that internal motion could weaken or stop altogether. And without a magnetic field, Earth would lose its shield against the sun. Solar radiation that's normally deflected into space could instead bombard the surface directly. We're talking about radiation levels dangerous enough to fry electronics, disrupt communication, and over time, threaten life itself. But here's a question you probably haven't thought of. If half the Earth was in permanent daylight and solar radiation increased, what would actually happen to the people living there? Skin damage, crop failure, ecosystem collapse. An entire side of the planet slowly becoming unlivable. But here's the part that truly destroys the planet as we know it: gravity. Earth's rotation actually works against gravity, very slightly, especially near the equator. That spin creates a tiny outward force that makes you weigh just a little less there compared to the poles. But if Earth stops spinning, that outward force disappears completely. Gravity becomes stronger and more evenly distributed, meaning people near the equator would suddenly feel heavier. Not by much, but enough to feel different. Enough for scientists to measure it instantly. But none of this answers the biggest mystery of all. Could Earth's rotation actually stop? The truth is, probably not suddenly. Physics doesn't really allow it. Earth has so much rotational momentum that stopping it instantly would require an impact so massive, so catastrophic, that it would essentially end life as we know it before any of these slower effects even mattered. We're talking about a collision so powerful it could shatter continents instantly. But here's the twist almost nobody knows. Earth's rotation is slowing down, just incredibly slowly. Every single day, Earth's spin loses a tiny fraction of a second due to the gravitational pull of the moon. You know that energy has to go somewhere, right? Well, it's being transferred to the moon, which is why the moon is actually drifting away from Earth, about 1.5 inches every year. Yes, the moon is leaving us. Slowly, quietly, without anyone noticing in daily life. Hundreds of millions of years ago, Earth's days were shorter. Not 24 hours, closer to 22, which means dinosaurs technically lived through faster days than we do. Imagine telling a T-Rex it has less time in a day than you. Honestly, still wouldn't want to argue with it. But here's where it gets even more mind-bending. If this slowing continues for billions of years, eventually Earth's rotation could match the moon's orbit, a state called tidal locking. One side of Earth would always face the moon. The other side never would. Slowly, gradually, the same nightmare we imagined happening instantly could actually happen naturally over an unimaginable amount of time. Earth's spin isn't just a scientific fact. It's the silent heartbeat keeping our entire world balanced. And if that heartbeat ever stopped, even for a moment, everything we know, the oceans, the skies, the comfortable rhythm of sunrise and sunset, would unravel in an instant. All because of something spinning quietly beneath your feet. Something you've never had to think about until right now.